All right, everybody, we're gonna talk about bar chords, okay? If you've never played a bar chord, this probably wouldn't be a bad place to start, but I would recommend going over my longer in-depth lesson on bar chords because there is a lot there. I think about it this way, as a guitar player, once you've got bar chords down and you're playing them confidently, in context and like in songs and stuff, you're on your way. Like you can play the frickin' guitar. This is not a beginner lesson, okay? Bar chords by nature are just not beginner things. It's not a beginner concept or technique, okay? It requires some hand strength, some dexterity, and then it also requires us to have some knowledge of the fretboard and to think a little bit more theoretically about our instrument, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the dominant 7 chord idea that we did in the second video in this series, okay? So we're gonna play A7, D7, and E7. But we're gonna play them as bar chords now, okay? So you should, at this point, be pretty comfortable with where the note A is on your E string. So the note A on the E string, not the note A on the A string, okay? Not this note. Well, that note, but that note played here on the E string, okay? That is gonna be the root of our first chord. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna play an A7 bar chord here. Then we're gonna play a D7. There's gonna be an E7. There's an A7. I might play a D9. If you know that chord, you can play that one. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna teach you this chord. The last measure, the last E, I'm gonna play an E7 sharp 9. If you're a Jimi Hendrix fan, you've heard this chord before. This is E7 sharp 9. Middle finger, second finger, 7th fret on the A string, first finger, 6th fret on the D string, okay? Third finger back to the 7th fret on the G string, pinky finger, 8th fret on the B string. And then we're gonna do like kind of a root chord strum, like we did with the open chords. Okay, so it'll sound like this. A7. D7. A7. I'm gonna play D9. You can play D7 if you want. So here we go, 12 bar blues in the key of A, okay? Remember, I'm gonna use that E7 sharp 9 on the last chord, the last E. And I may throw the D9 in, like I mentioned. The D9, I'll also include the diagram on the PDF for you if you wanna try to play that chord, because it's pretty cool. It's a pretty sexy little D chord, all right? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7, A7, D7 or D9, I'm doing it 9. E7, D, that was that E7 sharp 9 there at the end. Last thing that I will now finally mention, okay, is the blue note, or the chromatic passing tone between the 4 and the 5 chord, or the 5 and the 4 chord, okay? You've heard this before. When we get to the last 4 measures of the blues, you've most likely heard a band or a singer or whatever, or guitar player do this. Okay, or so all I'm doing there is I'm playing a chromatic passing tone between E and D. I'm playing E, D sharp or E flat, D, okay? Probably want to call it a D sharp, okay? Traditionally in a blues, we get these notes from bending things up, so we think of it as like a sharped 4, okay, the blue note. That is like what you're gonna do is you're gonna play that E7 and then just one beat or a half a beat, you play a D sharp 7 and then D natural 7. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? Try that. Okay, that would be in between the 9th and 10th bar. Okay, between the 5 and the 4 chord. Now, there are other ways to play the blues. So like the next steps are going to be taking a look at changing this form a little bit, adding more chords and whatnot, okay? The other thing that I'm going to leave you with is that you should start to move the keys on this. So if you go back to that power chord, movable power chord lesson, same rules apply. So if I want to play like a G blues, combining ideas. Okay, so that's also like another thing. Power chord shuffle, bar chord, power chord shuffle, bar chord. We'll get into like lead playing, do little leads in between. So all these things are on the agenda, but for now you got your hands full. We got open chords, we've got power chords, open power chords, power chord shuffle, movable power chords, and bar chords. Okay, so have fun with this stuff. The blues is meant to be fun, okay? It's a great style of music to just kind of get playing with. It's a great style of music to share with others, like call your homies, call a neighbor, call a friend, tell your teacher you want to play the blues, and start jamming together with other people. Start doing this together, all right? You become a better musician when you play with other people, okay? All right, that's enough of me talking. I could go on all day. All right, hope you all have a great one.